Is teaching an art or a science? This is a question that has sparked debates for decades, and everyone seems to have an opinion. Some say teaching is all about relationships, creativity, and the personal touch, and that it's an art form. Others argue that it's about evidence and strategies and measurable outcomes, that it's a science. But what if things aren't as black and white as they seem? In today's video, we're going to break down why teaching is both an art and a science, and why separating the two limits what's possible in education. Hi friends, I'm Courtney, and I've spent more than 15 years studying, deploying, and teaching evidence-based decision-making in education. If you're into that, make sure you like and subscribe, and come be a part of our growing community. Let's start today's video by defining what we mean by art and science in teaching. When we talk about the art of teaching, we're referring to the creative, intuitive, and relational side of the profession. This is the part of teaching that comes alive in the classroom, building connections with students, responding to their needs, and finding ways to inspire curiosity and engagement. The art of teaching is personal, it's dynamic, and it's deeply human. On the other hand, we have the science of teaching, which is all about evidence-based practices, proven methods, and measurable outcomes. It's about using research to inform practice and ensuring that what we do in the classroom is effective and equitable. The science of teaching gives us tools to make decisions that are grounded in data and supported by evidence. Just as in other fields, the interconnection between art and science in teaching is so important. But many times it gets so bogged down by debate that neither can really flourish. So we have to ask ourselves, why does this dichotomy between art and science persist? Part of it comes down to professional perspectives. Some educators naturally gravitate toward the more artistic side of teaching, while others are more drawn to the scientific side. And both are great. Then there's the way that society often views education, as either a free-flowing creative endeavor or a structured, almost clinical discipline. These two perspectives create a really unhelpful divide that doesn't really exist in high-quality teaching practice. In reality, the best teachers know how to blend both elements together. So let's take a closer look and consider how these two elements can coexist. First, let's examine the science of teaching. Science gives us a framework for what works. Strategies like spaced repetition, retrieval practice, and explicit instruction are backed by decades of research. These techniques help students retain information and develop critical skills so that they can perform better academically. The science also helps us to understand how students learn. They help us understand cognitive load theory and the importance of formative assessment. When we use data to inform our teaching, we can identify gaps, track our progress, and adjust methods to meet the needs of every learner. This is especially important in creating equitable learning environments where no student is left behind. But here's the thing. Science alone isn't enough. Imagine a teacher who uses evidence-based practices but lacks the personal touch to connect with their students. The strategies might be sound, but without meaningful engagement and deep relationships, the learning experience falls flat. And that is where the art of teaching comes in. The art of teaching is about bringing creativity, passion, and humanity into the classroom. It's about recognizing that students are not just data points, but individuals with unique needs, interests, and perspectives. The art of teaching allows educators to adapt to the moment, whether it's shifting gears in a lesson plan, using humor to break some tension, or finding a creative way to explain a complex concept. It's what makes learning memorable and meaningful to our kids. Consider a teacher who incorporates gamification techniques into their math practice. The evidence-based strategy ensures students are getting the repetition that they need, but the creative delivery keeps them engaged and motivated. I think it's super harmful to frame teaching as either an art or a science. When we focus exclusively on the science, we risk losing the relational and creative aspects of teaching that make it so impactful. On the other hand, when we focus solely on the art, we miss out on the power of evidence-based strategies that can improve outcomes for all students. The truth is, teaching is a craft that requires a combination of both. So what can you do to bring more balance between art and science in your teaching? Start by reflecting on your current practice. If you lean heavily on the artistic side, try to integrate one evidence-based strategy into your lessons this coming week. Look into things like retrieval practice, spaced repetition, or explicit instruction. something you can measure and track. And if you already emphasize the scientific side, think of one or two creative ways to adapt your methods. How can you bring more of your personality into your lessons? How can you make them more engaging for your students? Teaching isn't about choosing between art and science. It's about combining the two to create learning experiences that are effective, equitable, and inspiring. When we embrace both, we open up a new realm of possibilities for what education can be for our kids. If you found value in this video today, please make sure to like and subscribe so that other educators can find it. And make sure you check out this related video. I'll see you next time.